This nibble originally aired on RSBANDB Update, episode 773, Leveling Up Shattered Worlds. Enjoy. So let's just sum up the invention part then. New best in slot is Aftershock 4 with Equilibrium 2. How do we feel about the old best in slot of Precise 4 or Precise 3 Equilibrium 2 after this?
It was Precise 4 Equilibrium 2. I destroyed all mine, which was sad because I took a lot of time and money to make.
But I mean, that'd still be good, right? Today.
Oh yeah, I mean, all perks are always good. You don't have to use best in slots to have really good perks. Like the old best in slot were still 30%. Like the old best in slot perks were 30% better than no perks.
Well, there
so
you go.
30% is still pretty huge. But P4E2 is now super easy to get, where it used to be like 1 in.
Right, because we now have 9 slots instead of 5 to work with, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, or was it 5 or was it 6? I always get confused.
It was 5. It was 5.
So I was right on that. All right, Tanis, anything else? Questions or whatnot on the perk side of things?
No.
You feeling a little like you need to do a bit of invention, earn some money?
No, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed in what I need, but I'm also like really excited that it looks like this might be the first time I can make my own high level weapons.
Yeah. And
I
mean, if you go to the calculator and you look up P4E2, Precise 4 Equilibrium 2, and you can make that easier now.
It's super easy. It's like basically free.
It opens up a new world for us. Let me just have a look at that right now. How exactly you would get Precise 4 bonus points, David? If you can tell me what it is before I open it up on the calculator here.
I did not look up P4E2.
Let's see. How do we do this on the wiki here? I've never done this before on their invention calculator.
I'll do it. I'll do it right now.
All right. So we go to the invention calculator. We want an ancient gizmo.
Yes, you want ancient gizmo, and then I believe the best way to get it would just be 9 precise. And so the calculator at 120 with extreme invention potions, it appears Precise 4 Equilibrium 2 is a 1 in 13 chance, which is nothing.
That's not too bad.
Precise components are basically free. You get them from all kinds of stuff.
And how would you add Equilibrium 2 onto this?
Well, it comes as a combo. So it's a 2-for-1. That's why it was so desirable in the past. Is instead of having to pick between the two, you got them both.
All right. So how many precise components did you say to add to it?
9.
All right. So fill it up with precise components. Oh, that's precious, not precise. Whoops. I don't see. You can tell that I don't do this often because
wow,
they're all there.
Precise 6 Equilibrium 4 is a 1 in 58312777670 chance. It seems like that's the new meta. We got to go for that. What is that? What is that number?
Which one? Which one are you looking at? Precise.
I'm trying to figure out what. Hold on. Oh, 1 in 58 trillion.
Oh.
Right, easy.
Okay. All right. Well, on that note, then, the 1 in 58 trillion odds for some of those.
That's for Precise 6 Equilibrium 4.
Yeah, but P4E2, 7.25% chance, 1 in 13.7.
Yeah, and it used to be about 1 in 1,200. So look at that.
That makes me feel good. All right.
I think I got 18 P4E2s at 1 in 1,200. Just thinking about that.
And the amount of money you must have spent on that.
Well, not just money, but just time. Like, it's so much time. Like, 18,000 weapon gizmos is a lot of time.
And they all got thrown away, destroyed.
Yeah, the garbage.
All right, so I realize we're just having a bit of fun here with this right now. But summing this all up in terms of the increased DPS we're seeing, do you think this is power creep, or is this going to be benefiting the mid to high levels rather than the extreme side like we saw when the 120 Herblore and farming came out?
As always, both. It makes the previous. It's like that. It's like the story. What is it? Zeno's paradox, where every time you go 50% of the way to something, you like never can actually hit it. It's like if you go 50% of the way towards a wall over and over and over and over, you'll never actually hit that wall.
Right.
It's like that. So like every time that mid levels are able to access the previous best in slot, the best in slot is another huge, expenditure above that.
Yeah.
So like nowadays you could get what used to cost a bill now costs a couple of million, but the next tier up now costs a bill. So like it's still like a big gap. So I don't know how to analyze
so there's
that
always
exactly.
there's always going to be the next step. And I know we've talked.
There's always a bigger fish, right?
Yeah, and I know we've talked before that you're concerned because it seems like there's not much on the radar of adding anything harder than it is in game. So the way I see it is that they're making the bosses we already have more accessible because as it is, we don't have a RuneScape endgame right now aside from bossing, pretty much.
Right. My hope is that the new God Wars dungeon bosses will be all at least 1k Enraged Telos in difficulty, but hopefully more, like maybe 2k Enraged Telos.
All right. So,
but most people probably don't hope for that.
All right. So just to sum it up overall, factoring in the relics, ancient summoning, ancient invention, if you were looking at one of your use cases, I don't know, you just pick which one. How much of a boost would you say archaeology has given you in terms of combat performance?
I would say at least 10%. With Ripper taking advantage of Ripper in its current state more, but I think that even after the Ripper nerf, it'll be something like 10%.
All right, sounds good. And I think that this is there's nothing wrong with doing this, just as long as we know we're not, opening the floodgates as it were. And from what we've talked about here, it doesn't sound like we're doing that, so that's good. So you can watch full episodes of RSBANDB Update right here on this YouTube channel. You can also listen to audio versions of RSBANDB Update at update.rsbnb.com, and feel free to subscribe to our show and any number of podcast listeners out there at update.rsbnb.com/subscribe.